Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Ballistic Barbecue. You know, Father's Day is quickly approaching, so dads, quick question for you. What's it going to be this year? This or this? Silly question, huh? Anyway, let's get going. Alright, so before we start this cook, one really quick announcement. This is actually going to be my first video in a series of videos that I will be producing for Primo ceramic grills. Really excited about that. The best thing for me is I get to cook on their flagship grill, the Oval XL. I'm going to link their social networks down below along with their YouTube channel, guys. I'm hoping you'll go visit their channel, give them a sub. There's going to be some cool stuff posting on that site eventually, so kind of get in on the ground floor. Anyway, let's get to cooking. Without any further ado, the star of our show, the Cowboy cut ribeye. It's a bone-in ribeye, Delmonico, wherever you come from. We can all agree on this. It's a big piece of meat. This is darn near 3 inches thick, and it's over 2.5 pounds. Now, we've got a brown butter bacon sauce going over this, and then a balsamic Jack Daniels reduction going over this. So I'm going to keep the seasoning very, very simple. I'm going to start out with some coarsely ground kosher salt. Give it a nice liberal coating of this kosher salt. Now some pepper. This is actually a blend of black pepper, white pepper, green peppercorns, and pink peppercorns. It's going to make for just a gorgeous crust. We're going to go ahead and get the other side, get the sides of this piece of meat, and I'll meet you out at the Oval XL. See you in a bit. All right, guys, and here's my Oval XL. Now we're going to go ahead and prepare this for the cook, and we are going to be cooking the steak the indirect sear method. Give it a nice little burp, let that oxygen slowly enter the cooking chamber. We're going to open the lid. Now, as you can see, there's a big difference. It's got that oval shape. And the nice thing is they actually sell as an accessory a cast iron divider to where you can actually have dual temperature zones, true dual temperature zones. So I placed the divider in, poured in my charcoal, left about 3 inches of space between the top of the charcoal and the lip, and I lit it up. Now we're going to go ahead and set this up for the actual cook. I'm going to be using the cast iron grate, which is available for the Oval XL. And then I'm going to take the ceramic coated grate and I'm going to place it in the cooker to where it's at the elevated height here. Close the lid. And I'm just going to simply preheat this to 450. I already had it at 450 before I started this particular shoot. I have the upper dome daisy wheel opened up about a good inch on it and a little over an inch down at the bottom vent. So we're just going to let this come up to 450 and we'll start the cook. Okay, the grill is preheated to 450. Again, remember, open it slowly. So, reverse sear. What we're going to do is place the meat above the area where there is no coals. It's an elevated area. And we are going to cook this until it reaches an internal temperature of 120 degrees. Now, my wife and I, this is going to feed both of us. We like our steaks to be on the rare side of medium rare. That would be 130. So what I'm going to do is monitor the temperature. Once it's 120, I'm pulling it, we'll wrap it, and then I'll let it rise to that 130 while it's wrapped in foil. It's very important. I like to monitor this with a thermometer. I'm going to place the thermometer probe in the center of the cut. We're ready to cook. Now, around the halfway point, I will be flipping the steak just to make sure I get a nice, even cook. I'm guessing it's going to take anywhere between 20 to 30 minutes to reach that 120. In the meantime, I'll meet you in the kitchen. We're going to go ahead and cook that brown butter bacon sauce and that Jack Daniels Balsamic reduction. All right, guys, so we are going to kick this off with the reduction since it's the most time consuming. What I have here is 3/4 of a cup of balsamic vinegar and 3/4 cups of, you got it, Jack Daniels Old No. 7, guys. Give that a little stir. What I want to do is I'm going to bring this up to a boil, then reduce the heat, and I want to reduce this to about 3/4 of a cup. So I want to reduce it by half. I want it to be thick enough to where it will cling onto a spoon. So while this reduces, let's move on to that brown butter bacon sauce. All right, so cast iron skillet, it's pretty darn hot right now. First thing I'm going to do is add 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. There's going to be plenty of salt in this once I add that bacon, so don't need any more from the butter. Now, here I have 3 strips of bacon, which I have sliced into 1/4 inch thick pieces. Add that to the mix here. The purpose of this first step is to obviously get the bacon crisped up and to get it coated with this butter. All right, as you can see, we got a nice color in the bacon. Fat's rendered. Now what we're going to do is drain this fat and this butter. All right, next step. Now we're actually making that sauce. It's just this easy. Another 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. We're just going to melt this in, let it get a little bit browned. It'll add that nice kind of a nutty flavor to it. All right, and there you go. Now we're just going to set this aside until those steaks are ready to be anointed by the deliciousness of this sauce. All right, so we've hit that 120 temp. Now we're ready to pull this beautiful piece of meat here. I'm going to leave the thermometer in. I'm not going to remove the probe. Wrap it in foil. All right, so again, I'm just going to monitor that temperature in the foil. Once it hits that 130, we'll bring it out and we'll do the direct sear. And again, guys, if you want a more well-done piece of meat, just simply cook it a little longer in here. Bring the temp up a little bit more. Side dishes. What we're going to do while this comes up to temp, and by the way, it took just a little over 30 minutes, do some artichokes. Now what I did was I cut an artichoke in half and I marinated it in just a very simple kind of a olive oil vinaigrette with some garlic in it. And I'm just going to cook these in here as this meat comes up to temp. And what I want to do is just soften them up a bit. Since we are going to be doing that direct sear, I'm also going to take this opportunity to crank the temp up. So I'm going to fully open this vent, fully open the bottom. By the time the meat's up to temp, artichokes will be soft enough to get on that direct grill. So it's going to be a good time here. See you in a bit. All right, we've hit our target temp. Now let's have some fun with some hot, fast grilling. Give it a little burp, open the lid. Chokes are looking great. First thing I'm going to do is just give the cast iron grate a little bit of love here with some canola oil. Try to shake off the excess. It's going to flame up. Don't worry about it. Just let those flames die down. This grill is screaming hot. Now, as far as this oil is concerned, I will give one more application of this after I'm done with a cook as the grate starts to cool down, again, just to prevent that rust and to keep the cast iron seasoned. All right, let's get this piece of meat down, and we're just going to literally sear this for under a minute on each side just to get that nice crust. Okay, after this flip, I'm going to go ahead and get these chokes down. Get a nice char on these guys. Steak is done. Artichokes are done. Let's eat, guys. All right, everything looks and smells amazing. Those artichokes. Let's go ahead and cut into this meat and see what we got going on here. All right, I'd call that a pretty nice medium rare. Let's go ahead and get this plated up. All right, so we're going to be serving this over a nice plate of garlic mash. So let's just start building this up here. So tender. So juicy. And of course the artichoke. And there we go, guys. One thing left to do. Besides taste. Got that brown butter bacon sauce. We're gonna kind of dribble over the front. And then that balsamic Jack Daniels reduction. Looking good. Now, my all-time favorite part. Wow, everything works. Very happy with this cook. Guys, please check out Primo's site, their Facebook, and definitely go to their YouTube channel and sub for me, all right? Appreciate it. Anyway, guys, I will see you on the next video. Cheers.